Speaking of Jack McBrayer, we just spoke to him.
Yeah.
And he's a bit of a record keeper. He
Oh my God.
sent us a document of every appearance
Oh my God.
Wow.
on the show.
Yes,
I
it's
believe that, too.
meticulous. Yes.
And he was on 78 times.
Oh my God.
They're all here. And then at the end, he made a list, and we're probably going to post this with the
Yeah.
episode, ways that I've died / been abused. And it's a list of all the different ways he was killed or maimed in sketches on the show.
In sketches, not in real life. Like,
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
There might have been some carryover.
Jack was always money in the bank, and this is before
Always.
before 30 Rock.
Yeah.
We used him and so no one knew,
2002 he started.
no one knew who he was, but he was just this hilarious and is a hilarious performer, and we would use him in all these different ways. And I always would do this improv where whenever Jack was around, I'd be the kind of cruel, callous city slicker.
Right.
Who was like, well, Jack McBrayer, I knew I smelled, horse manure. Did you muck out the barn? And
No, I did not, sir.
Yes, and he is so,
Yes.
Jack is
How
so
dare
good
you.
at going with it. He'd be like, sir, that is wrong. I am not, sir, that is, and he would really commit
That's
to it.
offensive.
So I would commit to my guy,
Right.
and he would commit to his guy. And what I didn't know is that the crew was watching all this. And they thought it was real.
Yeah.
So, I love Jack, but
Right.
literally Jack would be at the double doors waiting to rehearse, and I would see him out of the corner of my eye,
Right.
and I'd start sniffing the air going, well. Sounds to me like somebody just came fresh from the hog farm. And he'd be like, sir, I most certainly did not.
And what if I did?
I came from my condominium in Midtown. I'd be like, did you get scared about the elevator, Jack? That moving box? I did not, sir. I know perfectly well what an elevator is. And we would do this. So at one point, we would just do this and we would really commit to it and neither one of us would break. And I remember one time I'm walking out and there's a couple of members of the crew, a cameraman, they're standing around and a sound guy and they're like, can we talk to you for a second? And I said, yeah. And they went, Jack's a really good guy and you're pretty rough on him.
Wow.
And I said, guys, I love Jack. And they're like, well, if you love Jack, maybe you really... And I was like, are you... No. Jack, come here.
Yeah.
Tell them. And
His deadpan's just too good.
his deadpan
Yeah.
was
Yes.
so good. And
It'd be great if he was like, thanks, guys.
Yes.
It's been
Yeah.
Thanks,
brutal.
guys.
A
I have.
brutal
It has
run.
been. Well,
I've
that's
been waiting for someone to intervene this whole time. Yeah.
So he, and this is something like you guys I think can attest to, which is that I don't.
Have
To me,
boundaries.
yeah, I don't have boundaries. I don't have boundaries, but I also don't segment things, meaning comedy's not something that I do when people are around
Right.
and it's time to do professional comedy.
Right.
My thing, whatever you want to call it, good or bad, is happening all the time.
Right, yes.
So, and I just did, because we had to wait to even just to do this podcast,
Right.
and we were out, and I had I just have socks on here at the Earwolf Studios, and there's a smooth cement floor, and I'm dancing around and doing different characters.
And charging all of us like a bull.
Charging all of you like a bull and acting like a total ass, not acting my age or anyone's age at all. I mean, a 4-year-old would be disgusted. But this is what I do all the time. So I have, Jack will text me something and I'll text back, like just as it's Jack
Yeah.
McBrayer and we're friends.
Right.
And he'll text me something like, hey, are you planning to have your Christmas party this year? And I'll go, well. And I'll be texting him back and saying things like, the problem is if you bring the mule, everybody's going to want to bring a mule. And we can't have a mule at the Christmas party. And he'll text back and say, it'd just be one thing. No, period. And I'll be like, come on, Jack. And he'll type back like, this is wrong. This is wrong what you're doing. And he'll commit to his thing. And it'll be, sometimes it's 1:00 in the morning. Yeah. And I'm chuckling and doing this city slicker guy from like 1911. And he's doing his thing. And it's for nobody. It's for nobody. It's madness.